Welcome to the Fair Housing Insiders. We are so thankful that you joined us. And please remember to subscribe here on our YouTube channel or follow and like us on your favorite social media outlet, which you can find links to in our show notes for even more fair housing news and insights. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fair Housing Insiders, episode 99, almost to 100. Today, we are focusing on marital status. I'm your host, Jonathan Saar, and we are joined today by Kathy Williams. We look forward to your comments on this topic. But before we get into it, let's look at a scenario involving marital status, and then we'll get your comments on it, Kathy.
I'm so very sorry, but our policies state that we will not rent to two people unless they are legally married.
So a question to start off our conversation, Kathy. Is it legal to refuse to rent to people who aren't legally married?
Jonathan, to answer that question, we have to start with the fact that marital status is not a protected category under the Fair Housing Act. However, there are several important exceptions to that point. And the first is that there are many states, probably more than 20, that have state fair housing laws. And then there are also many local fair housing laws that do have a protected category of marital status. So as with all protected categories, it's important to know both the definition and the state court's interpretation, and that's going to go state by state, of who is protected in the area where your housing is located. As one example, some jurisdictions also protect couples who have a civil union from being treated differently from couples who are married. The second concern is that sometimes asking about marital status is actually a method of discriminating against persons due to their sexual orientation, which is protected under the Federal Fair Housing Act under the protected category of sex. And as a third and final point, federally funded and insured housing is protected from discrimination against persons due to their marital status under HUD's 2013 Equal Access Rule. And I'm going to just throw in one more point here for anybody that might be thinking about this question. There have been a couple of states who have dealt with the issue of, is a landlord's individual religion and their right to practice freedom of religion, could that be offended by having to house a couple who is living together but not otherwise married? In both instances, state Supreme Court cases have said that the marital status protection trumps any issue with religious freedom. And the Supreme Court, when they had the opportunity to look at it, refused to and basically upheld the state court decision that marital status protections have to be followed by housing providers.
Very good. So 3 important points and a bonus point for our audience to, if you're taking notes, under that particular question of, is it legal to refuse to rent to people who aren't legally married? So thank you, Kathy. That leads to a second question, though. So If the state or local government has a law that's protecting marital status, does that only protect unmarried couples, or does it also protect single people in a roommate situation?
Okay, so to answer that question, I'm going to have to say it kind of depends because the state laws vary quite a bit on the question of, are roommates protected? Is it just unmarried couples protected? So we have to look at the individual laws, and I would hope that if marital status is covered in your locality, you check with a fair housing lawyer to make sure you understand who is protected by that protected category. In some states, the courts have interpreted marital status protection to mean that you are protected if you are an unmarried couple living together versus, for instance, if a landlord admits a married couple, but then would discriminate against an unmarried couple. There are a few states that have said that no, also protected are single people living in roommate situations. So again, the laws vary not so much in their definition, but in how the state courts have interpreted them. So I think we're just going to, for that one, we're going to have to refer you to a lawyer to get the proper interpretation with your law. I think the best practice may be not to intentionally discriminate against anyone, and then you really don't have to worry about how your state or local law is interpreted.
Yeah, that's great. Great way to sum it up. So thank you, Kathy, for your insights. A great topic, an important topic, marital status. So we appreciate your comments and feedback based on our scenario. So thank you to our audience. Episode 99. Can you believe it? You guys are great. What an amazing community. Episode 99. We're grateful to all of you. Thank you for your support of this channel. We look forward to next time. Take care, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and we can't wait to hear your feedback about today's episode. Do you have a topic that you would like to see discussed in a future episode? Feel free to share that with us. In the show notes, you'll see a link to sign up for our newsletter. This newsletter will keep you up to date with our latest episodes, blogs, and information about our online fair housing courses. Thank you again, and happy training.